guys, back to my channel. So today we're making this really cool and satisfying animation in Blender. So let's start. First thing, I'm going to create a new file, and then we're going to add some objects first. So first we're going to add a cylinder, and then what we're going to do is scale up like 5, and now apply the scale, go to edit mode, and then select the top and bottom face, press I like this, and then right click and press bridge faces. So now we have a hole. The next thing we're going to do is just add a cube, scale on the Z5 like the other one, and that's it for the objects. If you want, that's optional, we can make them look prettier by using a bevel modifier. Oh, I forgot to apply the scale. So then we can move it like and make a strong bevel. And my favorite number to put here is 3. So then we're going to just press Ctrl L and then copy modifiers. I'm going to shade them smooth and then move them to the side, like right over here. And next thing, we're going to add a plane. So the plane we're going to scale by 3 and apply the scale to. So now we're going to go to geometry nodes. So that's where all the magic happens. We're going to create a new one and then add a subdivide mesh. So here, subdivide mesh, and then I'm going to put it to 5. We can change that later. So the next thing we're going to add is an instance on points. So instance on points. So right over here, nothing happens. So we need to add the object. I'm going to choose the cylinder, so I'm just going to bring it from here and put the geometry into the instance. It looks really weird right now because it's too big. So we need to just scale this down like this, and that's good. That's a good value. So now we need to add some variation. Before that, I'm just going to put this at 4 because I think it's better with less objects on the scene. So we need to add the next thing, which is the cube. We need to delete some of these and then add the cube on them. So we're going to find a delete geometry and then set the point, and over here we need to bring it like this, and so we're going to actually bring it right over here. So then we're going to bring it like to the side and set it to instance. So now we just delete all the instance. Now this is really weird because we need to set a selection, because we need to choose which one we're deleting. So for that, I'm choosing random value and then put to boolean like this. So you just choose boolean and then the probability to 0.3 or 0.4. You can choose how much you want of those. I think that's good. So the next thing, we need to put the cubes in the other places. So we need to invert the selection with a color ramp or a map range. I like to use a color ramp, it's easier to read. So I'm just going to flip it, and then I'm going to use this to instance the values, the cubes. So we're going to instance on points again, this one. Then we're going to duplicate this delete geometry and then put this color into the selection, this geometry here. So what is happening here, you may ask? So we're instancing on all the points that we made, which is all the vertex, and then we're deleting some of them using this value and putting and inverting them, and then deleting the inversion. of the other instance on points, which is the cube. So if you want to see that, you may just put a giant geometry right here and then plug this here. So I think I put it the wrong one, because what is happening here now is I actually put after the instance on points, so we need to take the actual mesh and put it there. So as you can see, it's finally working after all the nodes. So the thing we need to do now is make them go up and down, up and down. So we're going to actually use the base geometry right here. What we're going to do here is make a displacement. So if you don't know what the displacement is, I'll just show you really fast on the side. So I'll just subdivide this sometimes, and then I'm going to show you. So the displacement, you can choose a texture. So I'll just choose a random one, and then according to the values, we make them go up or down or to the side, the other. You can choose that. But as you can see, we can do the strength right here, and then the mid-level. So we can make the vertices go up and down. And that's what we want with the thing. We want to make the vertices that we're instancing on go up and down. So then the instance will go up and down. I don't know if you understood that, but okay, let's do this now. So we're going to set a position with the set position node. So this allows us to change the position of each vertex, and then we're going to put the offset into a wave texture. I think you may have thought that we're using the noise texture, but I found that the wave texture is more customizable. So we're going to plug it to the offset, but if we try to mess it up now, it's really weird because it could just go like to the side. So we need to combine X, Y, and Z, and then plug this into the Z. So the scale now, it's still a little bit weird, but now we just need to change one thing that I actually put it wrongly. So we just need to plug this right over here and then like this. Okay, sorry about that. So now we can see the wave texture is working. We can do the wave thing, but we need to change this. So the scale, we're going to change it. So that's how many waves there are. And then the distortion is another thing we will change. So let's just change the distortion. And as you can see, it's already doing what we wanted. So if we just come here to the phase offset, you can see they all go up and down, up and down, up and down. So, okay, that's that. And if you want to do something a little bit more customizable, what we can do is actually remove this from here. So just grab it and remove this dot, and actually set the position of the instances. So we're just going to get this out and move it over here, and then set the position of the instances. So there's a cylinder, so we can get this two nodes right here, bring them back, and then set the position of them, and then set the position here. So now just the cubes are moving. So if you change the phase offset, you see just them moving. So now it's too powerful. This is too powerful, and as you can see, we cannot change it. So we need to add a map range before the combine X, Y, and Z. Remember that. And then change the to min and to max. So the to max is going to convert this one to the number we put here. So I think maybe 0.8. And the to min, I don't want it to go down. Just a little bit down actually. So minus 0.3. And that's working now. So the next thing I did on the other project is to make this move just a little bit. Just a little bit. So what we will do is get this instance on points, the second one, then shift D the set position right here, and then put the offset. But if we put this, it will move the same much if we just plug this in there. So we need to actually duplicate it, put the color into this value, and then change the 2 min to max. So we can come here and put it into the offset, and then it's moving the same much as the other ones now. So we need to, let's just put this at minus 0.05. I think that's a good one. And then just to 0.1 or maybe 0.01. So just change it like 0.1 while we're playing the animation. So as you can see, they just change a little bit while the others just jump around and all that kind of stuff. So okay, that's the first node group. Don't worry, the other one is going to be kind of the same, but we'll just duplicate this one and change some things. So we're just going to put the phase offset here. It's right over here, and then you can just have a look at it right over here, the node group, if you want to see what is wrong or what is right. So what we're going to do next is duplicate this to make the little balls float like on the tubes. So we're just going to duplicate this whole thing right over here, and then duplicate the geometry nodes too, and then we're just going to find the tube. So the cylinder is the tube. I think we should rename that. Okay, so plane 001 is the second geometry node, and what we need to do here is to find the tube and then delete them and put an icosphere on its spot. So what we're going to do here, we're going to find the second instance on points, which is the cube one. We're just going to delete all of that. We don't need that anymore. So here is that. So now if we hide the other one, we can only see tubes. And we want to actually delete more cubes. So let's just come over here and delete some of them. We don't want much balls going up and down. So okay, that's the node group now after deleting everything. So what we have to do here, we'll keep the set position, but we'll change the map range after that. And then the object info, will delete it and put an icosphere on its place and put the subdivisions at 3. That's the perfect number. So then we're going to plug this into a set shade move. So into the geometry and then into the instance. You can put the after, but I just like to see it right here on the front. So as you can see now, we can see all the spheres just randomly put it everywhere. I think we can delete even more of them. That's good. So we can show the other plane now. If we just move the phase offset from this one, you will see they aren't jumping too much. So before we fix that, we just want to see one thing, which is this. They're too big. So we need to just scale them down. You can hold the shift and then just put them like a little bit smaller than the thing. So now they won't overlap anything. So the next thing we will do is just move this map range. So we don't want them to go all the way down. So let's just put this at 0. Let's see that now the farthest down they can go is right over here. That's good. And then how up they can go, how much they can jump. So that's good. They can go like up to 2. And if we change the phase offset now, they will just go down and up, down and up. So that's good. That's really good. That's all working. So if you want to see this node group now, I'll just organize it a little bit while you can watch it. So we're going just to move things around. And I'll just put everything a little bit closer so you can actually read them. So that's everything that is making the spheres. You can pause it there. So I'm going out of there, and let's see what we can do next. So the next thing I'm going to do is come on the tubes and the squares, and then just because of me, it's me, you don't need to do that too. I'm just going to bring this down because the tubes are going too much, like they're just going too high. So we just need to do the next thing now, which is add the materials and the lighting and stuff like that, and the animation. So I'm going to do the animation first because it's the easiest. So the size of the original one is 120 frames. So on frame 1, we're just going to put a 0 on the face offset, and then on frame 120 exactly, we need to do a really cool thing, which is the best thing I learned for repeating stuff, like doing looping animation, which is you just type a number, which in my case is 4, then the asterisk, I don't know, I just call it the little star, and then we just press PI and then enter. So that's just easy to make a looping animation. So now if we just press play, you will see it always goes the looping thing. But just so we can see that better, and because I think it's better for the animation, we can just make a linear animation. Yeah, so that's perfectly looping, and then we just need to do the same thing with the spheres. So the only thing we're going to change is maybe how fast they go, but we can just change this value so they will not be the same thing as the other one. So we can just put the scale a little bit like this, maybe 5.1, and then we're going to do the same thing. So I and 4 or 5 times pi. So that's a really useful thing from watching Ducky 3D. And then we're just going to get all of them and put it in here. So you can see it's really random and really satisfying to watch. So now we need to what the materials, right? So the materials are really simple, but I actually use them from real-time materials, just the basic one. The basic, where's the basic? It was the second one. So I use one for the basic scratches and then the basic plastic for the other ones. So I already know how to make them. So I won't do the exact stuff so I don't get like, I don't know. But let's just go here to the tube, and what I did, what we can do for it, I added a geometry note. Let's go to shading. So I just like to keep it like this, so you don't need to keep on the side like this way, but I just prefer to see everything like this. So we're just going to make the material for those two. So I'm going to create a new material and then bring this out almost all the way down. So it's kind of really gray one, so 0.022 on the value, and then that's kind of it. We can, if you want, you can add some variation to the roughness with a noise texture. I think I'll actually do that now. So I don't want to explain everything that I'm doing because it's more of the geometry nodes for this tutorial. So I'm just going to plug this into the roughness like this, and then the black is going to be almost white, like this. So I just the scale up, the detail, and the roughness not up. Okay, so it's kind of unnoticeable, a little bit noticeable. We can put it even to the normal with a bump texture on it. So it's really subtle. But okay, let's do the other one really fast. I'll just get this material, duplicate it, and one color that I really liked that I found is this one. So I never thought of using it on an actual project. So it's this middle orange, and then I don't know how to explain this color. It's just a color, right? So I'm just going to put it to cycles. Oh, that's really laggy. I don't think that's right. Okay, so what we're going to do is I just put it at a kind of pinkish red. So this is the color. I don't know how to explain. So it's kind of a pink and orange and red at the same time over there. And then we need to add lights because this is kind of annoying me. So for the lights on this project, what I did is I added an HDRI. So there's another tutorial that I show how to make an HDRI, and here it is. So I'll just add one. I think it was this one. Okay, so it was sections. Yeah, so now that everything's like this, we can come over here and then try to find a light. So the area light. Now I just brought it up like this, scale up, brought it Shift Z like this, and then I just put it at 100. So that's lagging. I'll come back in just a little bit. Okay, I don't know what happened, but the problem was that I put other nodes and I don't know what happened. So yeah, that's basically it. For the spheres, I think you already know, just for watching the materials, it's just a white. So I just copied the material and put it at the white. So now the last thing I'm going to do is just bring the word capacity a little bit down, so put 8, maybe it's good. And then this light needs to be way brighter. Yeah, that's the value I used at 1000. So I'll just get up. Oh, I think it just turned. A lot of random things happening today. So now it's lagging a lot. So the camera, I just found a place that I wanted to look at. Press Control Alt number pad 0 if you have a number pad, and then I put it at orthographic. I don't know how to pronounce that. So you can put as close as you want. If you want to make it look like a tiny world, you can make it like really close, and then if you want a big world, you understand what I said. So I'm just going to come over here. If you can't use cycles, that's just okay. It doesn't need to be anything like this. So the color image, I just put it at high contrast. And there's one thing that I need to say too. This took almost all day to render. So just find a day where you don't need to use your computer and do this. So that's the final result I got. So the project will be out on Patreon. And if you want to talk to me or just ask questions and do that kind of stuff, I just released a new Discord server. So if you want to go there, you can visit me. It's on my community tab on my channel. So just go there and we'll have a lot of answered questions. So now just press Ctrl F12 and then wait 100 years. Yeah, so thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video.